Hi there, welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Doveston, and it is wonderful that you are here with me for our monthly I Ching forecast, this time for August 2025. We are in the second half, barreling into the tail end of 2025. Can you believe it? As always, before we get stuck into the monthly forecast and what we need to pay attention to, what could really bring some value to our lives this month, we look back. We look back to July. What an interesting month we had. We had Hexagram 15, modesty. What was high shall become low. What is low shall become high. The flattening of the ego, the lifting up of the low self-esteem, bringing everything into a level playing field. Working with this idea of action is required, so that one changing line we had action and dedication to moving forward, and we had Hexagram 52, keeping still, second half of the month, training us and giving us guidance onto how to be still, to be in repose, in a meditative state, okay, not reacting and speaking and overdoing it on a physical, emotional, mental level, but just being still and being rooted in our center. Very interesting to me that our weekly episode, our last one for July, was Hexagram 12, standstill, which is almost like the negative energy of keeping still. It's stillness and halting when you don't want it, whereas keeping still is about choosing to lean into stillness as a tool. So interesting energy that kind of brings in the end of July tied to the monthly overview. So for you, what did you experience this month in working on leveling the playing fields? Where was there an ego issue? I had that. I had an ego issue that got lowered, okay, and leveled. And I was like, ooh, that hurts. Okay, but now I know something. I learned something about myself I didn't even know was there. And how did we lift it up? Okay, where was the lowly brought up to the surface, and what was too high, too in excess, brought down? Where did we find balance and moderation in this month, coupled with that energy of keeping still, of being still, of not overreacting, of being at peace, being in our center, meditating? Did you get a chance to meditate a lot more in July? That was the energy we were working with, almost as if we needed to come back into our center and find a place in that center to outward move, to find our next phase, to find our next movement forward. Okay, so that was July. What is August asking us to pay attention to as we all grow and work with the I Ching as a powerful tool of our self-development? Our first hexagram that we are working through this month is Hexagram 59, dispersing. Okay. Visually dispersing from a structure of the hexagram is wind over water. The symbol created is the hot wind or warm wind blowing gently over the frozen ice. And what we get is we get a gentle thaw. We get things that were locked up in the ice, that were locked up and invisible, start to melt and thaw out. Okay. What this hexagram does is it brings us the possibility, the energy, the opportunity in this month to release stuff. Okay, now releasing stuff might be things that were stuck. Okay, maybe standstill is now starting to thaw out after we finished up the end of July. To release things that were stuck. Okay, things that were stopped, halted, not moving forward. Okay, things that were stuck. Things slowly start to thaw. This is not a radical heat overthrow energy and now suddenly we're running gung-ho. This is a gentle thawing, dispersing energy. What can also be locked up in the ice? Locked up emotions, locked up thoughts, illusions, delusions, old thoughts, erroneous belief systems, old ways of doing things, wherever things have become crystalline. Okay. What this energy does, it slowly starts to bring an opportunity to release what is crystalline and become more fluid and more agile and an ability to flow. All right. Wherever we are crystalline in our thinking, in our feeling, in our physical habits, the month gives us the opportunity to start releasing those It might not feel like an immediate release, okay, like we might have with Hexagram 40 deliverance, the relief that comes, but it's a thawing and a releasing. It's an opportunity to get issues out and to get things resolved and to dispel things that are trapped, to dispel them out. Now, when we work with the changing lines for this hexagram, the different changing lines give us different things that we are dispersing and dispelling. We have this month 2 changing lines in the 4th and the 5th position, okay, and what we can do it with the weeklies as well, but it seems a little bit futile given the time horizon. We can create a little bit of a structure to the month by taking the changing lines and creating breaks, time breaks. Now, when we work with these time breaks, they're not a science, okay, or a rule, okay, they're a way of helping us structure how we look at the information. And we need to use our own life as an example of how these changing lines come in one after the other. They come from the bottom up, they move in a cycle. So that means that the first 10 days of the month, all right, our first changing line is really active and matures to its maximum. And then the next changing line kicks in from the 10th to the 20th of August, matures to that point. And then we start moving fully and firmly towards maximizing the second hexagram of the month. Okay, so in position 4, what are we dispersing? We're dispersing the flock of thoughts. Okay, you can imagine this flock of birds being like a flock of thoughts that is creating confusion, that's hiding us, or hiding our clarity from what we really need to do, what's really important. And the changing line talks about ascending to the sacred shrine, climbing the mountain and getting perspective, almost like the tower hexagram, right? Contemplating, going to the shrine and going through a process of going and connecting to a higher purpose, a higher vision on the situation, and dispersing and dispelling all the negative thoughts, all the noise, all the reasons, all the emotional mumbo jumbo that we create and sustain around our lives. Okay, we dispel them, we release the flock of birds. Maybe they're dark birds, right? Goodbye, dark birds, right? Fly away from me and move forward, right? So we work with dispelling the flock of thoughts, all right? See it as those birds leaving you, okay? And suddenly, when this cloud of birds, think Alfred Hitchcock, when the cloud of birds disperses, we can see things clearly. It's important for us to get to perspective. That's what we're dispelling in the first 10 days, in particular, and likely in the first 10 days of the month. Then we move into position 5, okay, our next changing line. And this will start, if you're working and tuning into the timing energy of these changing lines, will start round about the 10th and mature towards the 20th of the month. This is a power line. It's a good line, okay? And it talks about the dispersing sweat. Okay, you know, you have had this where you had a fever and your body is hot and you feel cold and shivery and hot and hot and hot and hot, and the temperature goes up and goes up and up. And the moment the sweat comes, you know the fever is broken. The problem is dispersed. So what we are focusing on with this changing line is tuning into the important task that we are here to do, right? There's an important job that needs our attention, and we need to disperse the obstacles, all right? We need to break a sweat, disperse the obstacles in our path. There are obstacles we can overcome, okay? We need to disperse them. Disperse the obstacles in our way of moving forward on the thing that's really important to us. So it's a line where if we work and we put in the effort, we move forward, we get the benefit. It's a power line, okay? Really important for us to lead and to move forward and to deal with the issues in front of us and to go, okay? So that's round about the 20th of the month. You might find that all the changing lines land for you in different areas all at the same time. Use it as a personal experiment. Okay, so we've broken the sweat. fever is past. All right, what is our outcome or relating hexagram for this month that we are moving towards, that we are working with in parallel for the month? And it is hexagram 64, before completion. Okay, this might be the last numbered hexagram of the set, and it talks about not after completion, but before completion. Okay, it's the last few steps as we move towards the summit of a mountain that are most important, that need attention, that need care, that need focus, right? We don't run the last few steps, even though we are very, very close to the finish. We pay attention to a finishing journey. So when we get this hexagram, right, there's a project, a process, a life cycle, whatever it is, coming to an end. It's reaching a fulfillment of its process. And our task is to support this completion energy, our commitment to completion, by taking one step at a time, not running, not panicking, doing what needs to be done to make sure we complete this well. Okay. It's not how you start, it's how you start and how you finish. Okay, so you've got that saying. So we do both. We have to start well, we have to finish well. And this hexagram is about getting us ready to finish it off. Okay, a project, a process, a phase of life, whatever it might be. It might be a big cycle for you, it might be a small thing. We are getting ready, no matter what it is for you or the scale of it for you in this lifetime. We are getting ready to finish it off. All right, the completion process is at hand. And this month, our attention is being drawn into the things we need to finish off. So our focus should be, as we're working with this hexagram, of course, trust your life. If there are startup energies in your life, you've got to work with them. Don't take this as the gospel, okay? But it seems to me that in working with these hexagrams, we're releasing things, we're releasing stuck energy. We are leading and pushing forward, okay? That sweat is dispersing, right? And we are bringing things to a close. So our energy unlocks when we focus on finishing things we've already started, okay? And that is how we maximize the flow of energy in August 2025. A wonderful opportunity for us all to grow through releasing things, through letting go of stuff, emotional stuff, mental stuff, flocks of thoughts, okay? The sweat is gone, the fever is broken, and we're moving forward and we're completing things and we are committing to the success of completion by putting one foot in front of the other and finishing what we started. Thank you so much for being here with me. Absolute pleasure to connect with you in this way. I look forward to getting stuck into our weekly episodes as we unpack August. Thank you, July, for all the learnings and the blessings and the challenges that came to bring us awareness and growth. And let's get into August and let's make this month count, week by week by week. Thank you so much. If you liked this episode, it was valuable, a thumbs up, a like would be great. And of course, you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell or the follow. If you are on the podcast, you know what to do. And I look forward to seeing you soon at our next weekly I Ching forecast for August. Take care.